What's good, YouTube? Daybreak 748 coming back at you guys with yet again another Variable Action Heroes figure review. Today we are taking a look at Shanks from the One Piece franchise. Now, guys, I am quite excited. If you guys watch One Piece, you definitely know who this character is. If you don't, you just started, not going to spoil anything for you guys, so you're in the clear. But with that said, as soon as I saw that the Variable Action Heroes line was planning to release this and had the pre-orders up, I pre-ordered it immediately, and I'm just super excited that he is here, and yeah, super stoked to be reviewing this for you guys. So with that said, here we go. We have standard packaging when it comes to the Variable Action Heroes lineup. You have the picture of the actual figure inside, the sticker of authenticity. On this side, you have a nice pose of Shanks right there. On the back, another awesome picture, and then over here, another picture with his name. Alright guys, so give me a sec. I'm going to get this guy out of the box and we'll see what he has to offer. Be back in a few. Alright guys, and we are back. We have Shanks out of the box, and I gotta say, yeah, that's the best thing I can say. This figure has some great aspects, and then this figure also has some really weird, kind of bad aspects to it. I'm kind of on the fence with this one, guys, to be honest. So yeah, let's get started. So first, I'm going to take Shanks here out of the picture, and we're going to take a look at his accessories. So the first accessory that he comes with, which is his biggest accessory, it's his cloth or his cape or whatever you want to call this thing. It kind of drapes over his shoulder and it just stays there. Now be careful, because it's the same problem. Any figure with this cape type of piece, I don't even think there is a magnet here. No, there isn't. But yeah, it's gonna have a real hard time staying on him if you have him in some crazy dynamic pose. If you have him just standing there with a vanilla pose, then it shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, if you have him with his sword drawn and him ready for battle, this definitely can fall off pretty damn easily. So that kind of sucks. But overall, when we take a look at this particular accessory, it looks really good. The shading that they put into this inner piece looks really great. The folds and wrinkles that they put right here, that looks pretty awesome. It actually looks like it's really just like a fabric material and just flowing. When it comes to the actual I guess this cape piece, how does it work? Well, it's split into 3 or 4 separate pieces. This right hand piece, it's on a hinge right here, it can swivel out. This piece right here is hinged up and down like that, and then this piece right here, it's not hinged up top, but it is hinged down here, so you can maneuver that piece. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so that's that. Moving on to another accessory of his, it's his awesome looking sword. Now, when it comes to these swords, I think they look freaking phenomenal. I love the green handle. This gold piece right here looks phenomenal. Even the blade itself looks really darn good. Now, to go with this sword, you also get its sheath right here. And nicely done once again, looks great. I like how it goes from dark black to a little bit faded, and then dark black once again. You have the gold plates right here and up here, but one thing I don't like is the fact that the peg is right here. I know why companies try to stay away from actually giving you sheets that go in, but this, I don't like this. I wish the peg was over here instead. Why? Because with this piece sticking out like this, if you have Shank here, or Shanks here with his sword drawn, then you're gonna see this thing right there, and it's exposed, and that just looks really bad. Now, another thing to keep in mind, because they don't actually give you a sheath where the sword can go in, you're going to have to take this blade off. Now, be very careful here, guys. This piece right here is extremely thin, and it's super brittle plastic. For mine, it doesn't want to come out, and I don't want to put any more force than I have to, because I feel like I'm going to snap it down here or up here. just be very careful. If you need to, maybe put it under some hot water and see if that will do it for you. But yeah, I definitely would not be messing around with this too much. So keep that in mind. But overall, the sword looks great. Alright, moving on to some of his interchangeable hands. You have this one open posed hand. You have this semi-gripping hands right here. Nicely detailed. And then you have the sword wielding hand. So there you go. So looks pretty darn good. Alright, when it comes to the face sculpts that you get with this guy, you have Shanks really having a good grand old time, and he's just smiling and laughing away. Attention to detail is just spot on. You see his beard, his mustache, you see the scars on his eye right there, and the red hair looks awesome with a lot of shading as well. You get another faceplate, which is him very, very serious, and he's ready for battle. And then this one actually caught me off guard because this one wasn't actually in the clamshell. It was actually underneath it, and it was taped to the clamshell. So be careful, guys. If you're the type of person who throws away the packaging, you definitely don't want to be throwing out this face. This one is him actually screaming. So there you have it. So you get 3 faceplates, 3 hands, a sword, a sheath, and a cloth piece that you can have on his back. And then the last thing you get with this guy is this piece right here. We saw something very similar with the Luffy figure that recently came up. So yeah, it's a thing that you can have displayed with your Shanks figure. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so let's bring Shanks here back into the frame, and I'm going to first talk about the cons of this particular figure. So the first con is, if he looks great like this, but I'm gonna move him and just make him look straightforward. And is it just me, guys, or is his head too small for his body? I mean, look at this. His head is like tiny when every other part of his body is freaking massive. Now I know when it comes to One Piece, the proportions are all like, I guess, exaggerated, but not to this extent. He looks like someone took like a miniaturizing, like the Honey I Shrunk the Kids, like that kind of gun, and shot his head, and just, it looks so weird. Am I going crazy, guys, or is this something that you guys are noticing too? It just looks really, really small for his body. The second complaint I have with this particular figure is the loose joints that you're going to face if your figure is like mine. This piece right here is actually, right here, it's kind of wobbly. So you see, it's gonna wobble. And that kind of sucks. That really bothers me, especially because these guys are not cheap figures. So you would expect them to have nice stiff joints, but we've seen Variable Action Heroes kind of mess that up from time to time, but it's something I can live with. Alright, and then the last one is this. When it comes to this piece right here, I understand the concept of this because Shanks is, he's supposed to be kind of this raggedy character. His dress shirt, as you guys can clearly see, it's not really tucked in, or neither is it really buttoned, but it's there. And then he has this, I guess, belt piece, but take a look. As you go over to this side, there is no belt. This is actually just sculpted, and it ends literally right here. So if you have him posed like this, you're gonna be like, wait, Daybreak, what happened to his belt? There is no belt, and as you guys can clearly see, because of that, you're gonna have some gappage issues. Now, one way that they've kind of made it so that you can hide that is to make this piece right here a floating piece, so that is not too problematic. I mean, you can cover it up as soon as you maneuver it, but you might see that gappage from time to time, so that's a little bit on the annoying side. So those are the complaints. Now, when it comes to the pros of this figure, this guy looks phenomenal. I love it. Everything from the face sculpt, the size is a little weird, but the face sculpt, the hair, I mean, look at that. All that shading that was put into this, it's all done so perfectly. His beard is nice and clean. I love the scars, like I said. When it comes to his dress shirt, there's a lot of shading all over the place. Even the folds look great. When it comes to the buttons, they've done it very, very nicely. Nothing too crazy with that. When it comes to his pants, it looks great. Now, something that I'm going to just showcase right here is the fact that when you maneuver this guy and you bend his knees, it looks okay, but this piece right up top and this piece on the bottom is not really textured or anything, so it does look a little off. So keep that in mind. And if you go too far, you're going to see this gappage happen. So avoid that if you can. And he also has some stubble on his legs, which looks really funny, but it gets the job done. And overall sculpting looks great. Paint job looks great. There's shading all over this figure, and it looks phenomenal. And just to showcase this, bam, you see, you can clearly see the inner workings of his body if you don't maneuver his shirt down. So there you go. But look at all that shading. He looks great. When it comes to articulation, the head can look up that far, which is not that much at all. He can look very far down, which is great. He can look left, right, up, down. He can pivot a little bit. He does have a neck joint right there, so that's pretty good. When it comes to the arms, can go out that far. He does have a double joint right here. It kind of looks funny because there's a ball here and then it's connected right here, but it works. Mine's a little stiff, so I'm not gonna force it too much, but there you go. You have a bicep swivel up here, and you can swivel down here as well. When it comes to the hands, full rotation and pivot all there. When it comes to the upper diaphragm, you can swivel that all you like. The waist, no problem. Like I said, this is a floating piece, so it won't get in the way. When it comes to his legs, you can pull it down like the SH Figure Arts. Now, when you do that, watch. The loose joint gets like crazy. It becomes like ridiculous. Like this, look. That's pretty bad. When you have it closed up, it's not as bad because this piece is kind of just resting on his pants. But when you don't, this guy is going to have an issue. When it comes to the legs, he does have a thigh swivel. I showed you the knees, so you get more than 90 degrees there. You have a swivel right here. Feet can go up that far, toe joint, and can go all the way down. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to push his body back up so he's a little bit sturdier, and here we go. Alright guys, so real quickly, just to showcase this, because I know some people are going to wonder, this piece right here goes in here. Just line it up and just push it through. Now you don't want to be pushing this through over and over again, so have it set the way you want it and just keep it there, because the paint is going to definitely start rubbing off if you decide to maneuver it whichever way a couple of times. So that's that. When it comes to the face, super easy. It's just being connected by these little pegs right here. So pull off the existing face and put the new face on. When it comes to his hand, you just literally pull this off and put in the other hand you want. Now when it comes to the sword, one thing I don't like about the Variable Action Heroes line is the fact that they don't give you instructions. So some people are going to try to see if they can pull this out. If I were you, easiest way, put this under some hot water or a blow dryer or whatever, make this thing really loose, and then put it on the sword. So that's that. So guys, give me a sec. I'm going to get Shanks here ready for battle with all his accessories, and then we'll finish this video. So with that said, be right back. And we are back. We have Shanks here fully ready for battle, and he looks phenomenal. Like I said, guys, the sword piece, take your time with it. You will be able to take it off. Just be patient and don't be too forceful. Now the cape, like I said, if it's some natural pose like this, some vanilla posing, then it should be fine. But if you want to have him in some more dynamic poses, this might be a little bit of an issue. So keep that in mind. Now with his cape, I guess his head kind of evens itself out, but still I think his head is a little too big. But with that said, guys, he looks pretty freaking epic. And just to showcase size comparison to finish this video, here you go. There is Shanks with Luffy right there, which is like an average build, and then you have the biggest freaking guy, and he doesn't even fit on screen. Holy crap. But yeah, look at that size comparison. That is freaking crazy. So there you guys have it, guys. That was my review on Shanks. If you guys want to pick up this figure, I highly recommend that you do so right now. Yeah, it has its flaws, but for the most part, I think this is definitely a passable figure. Not passable, but yeah, it's a good enough figure for you to pick up and not be too disappointed in, especially if you are a Shanks fan, and especially if you guys are a One Piece fan. So with that, guys, this is Daybreak 48. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day to stop by to watch this video. If you like what you saw, leave a thumbs up. If you like Shanks, leave a thumbs up. If you guys are new, please check out my other videos. I'll have annotations at the end of the video for some other reviews that I've done. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, until next time, guys, this is Daybreak 48. I'm signing out. Peace out, guys.